Ranbir is back on the big screen after 4 years, and yes, he's done well, but my god, does the movie let him down. Sanjay Dutt, as always, great villain. I've seen it in 2 movies this year. I'm kind of over it now. Baba, please do some other roles. We love you. Sumit Basu's production design and Anay Goswami's cinematography, coupled with good performances from Ranbir Kapoor and Sanjay Dutt, and Karan Malhotra's ability to incite disgust from even your least human side, are some of the only good things that this movie has to offer. After watching the movie, the first thing that came to mind was the movie had the ingredients for it to be good, but it was probably just let down by its screenplay. It had good VFX, it had a great star cast, it had a fairly decent story to build off of, it had some great world building, and I still wouldn't recommend it to anyone. A recent trend in Bollywood movies that I don't really like because it feels so forced in a lot of movies is the non-linear storytelling pattern. This movie, for the most part, tells its story in a linear manner, and that's exactly where I think it falters. The story in itself isn't extraordinary, but who doesn't love a good revenge drama if told in the right manner? In this movie, the linear storytelling is what I think takes away from the impact that it should have had on the audiences. At no point in the movie did I feel real sympathy for the characters. There were a few scenes, but they were few and far apart. This is yet another Yashraj movie in the recent past that is barely standing on its own feet because of the star power of the movie and the production design along with the VFX. It is plagued by a bad screenplay. It is riddled with conveniences everywhere to further the plot, and some things make absolutely no sense. One of those being the birds in the movie. I don't know whether there was a symbolism or what the director was trying to portray. There was no real logic given to the birds in the movie. It just felt like they picked up random scenes from the Batman without the context of Batman. The screenplay was also slowed down by so many songs. Is this a case of one of Bollywood's oldest and most successful production houses still being stuck in the late 90s or the early 2000s, not moving on, not moving forward with its content, whereas its audience is demanding content that you would see in the year 2022? Has the Indian audience moved on? I know this may sound like I'm overanalyzing the situation, but it's a fact. There is a pattern in almost every Yashraj movie that I have seen in the past few years, and they stick to that. It does not matter what the genre of the movie is, barring a few exceptions here and there. Also, just a quick note, if at all you are successful in counting the number of times Shamshera is uttered in this movie, I think you'll probably find a special place in heaven. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It felt like the creators of the movie were trying to pander to an audience in the past, and I don't think that's a fair expectation to have. A few things that I would like to give credit to the creators for though. Most of what you see in the trailer is pretty much done by the end of the first half. So the second half of the movie is new footage, if I may say so. And that was pretty cool to watch. The VFX in a lot of scenes was great. Yes, there were some places where you're like, okay, that is clearly CGI, it is not real whatsoever. But there were also some where you're like, huh, not bad. But we know Yashraj can do VFX. We've seen it in Prithviraj and now we've seen it in Shamshera as well. Sadly, that doesn't mean it's going to save the movie. It's still a bad movie, just with good VFX. All of that said, at no point did I actually find myself wanting to walk out of the theatre. Even though I wasn't feeling too good and I went for a midnight show, I still wanted to stay and watch the rest of the movie to see how all of the ridiculousness played out. Does that mean I would recommend you watch it? No. You're probably just better off rewatching Agnipath because my god, was that great. And my god, did this not live up to that. I will say, I am still optimistic for Brahmastra. Firstly, because I have faith in the creators of Brahmastra and the work and time that they have put into that. And secondly, Ranbir's comeback to the big screen was not so great. So anything better than this will be appreciated. Ranbir, we missed you on the big screen. We hope you do some kick-ass movies in the future. Also, kudos on the body, man. You look great. Yeah, that was the review. If you have already seen the movie, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments below. If you haven't, probably don't watch it. Yeah, it wasn't the best. And saying that might be a bit of an understatement. Also, let me know what you thought about the review. I will see you soon for another one. Till then, take care. Peace. Oh, also don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Peace. Bye.
तेरी माँ का मुकुट